Did
1942.
out here at Hamlin and 96. Chris, as soon as you stop, something's happening.
Speaking of which,
So we will run back into St. Paul, into the West District.
An 835, he's a pretty big guy. He's over 6 feet tall.
excuse me.
I would say 250 to 300. Suspect is about 6 feet tall, 250 to 300 at 1943.
That's the gang unit. 835 is the gang unit. They're pursuing this guy in front.
Sorely have squads out there. Are they checked out?
An 835, whoever is parked watching the bar, he was hanging out with a group outside of the bar, so we just have to make sure we're keeping a good eye on the cars parked outside.
Guessing
See if
it's
we can get back in one.
Willard since they meant crowd. Of course,
Suspect was hanging out with a group outside the bar, have eyes on the vehicles at 1943.
Pat knows the owner there very well.
836. He's specifically with some females. They're parked right across from the entrance of the bar on the west side of the street facing south.
So the females parked across the street from the entrance on the west side, facing south.
Last name Minnesota Plain, Charlie X-ray Bravo 534, 2009 Pontiac Torrent, information 844.
Here's what Joe had to say about it. Sometimes we're cautious about telling you who we're looking for just because we don't always know for sure that they're adults and we want to respect their privacy if they're juveniles, but is it in there?
Yeah,
And was it from Willard's or?
yeah, that's where he ran from.
Okay.
Go for 844.
Let's just see what the warrant's for here. Does it say in there?
No. I know he is wanted, but I can't remember what for right now. Oh, wait a minute. There it is.
All right, here's his picture. Just sent us a picture.
Wanted for a Department of Corrections warrant and pick up and hold for second-degree assault with a firearm used.
Okay.
Is physical listed in there?
Yeah, probably here if you scroll around there.
Haven't seen him in a long time. 5'11", 251 pounds.
So we're looking for a guy named Willie McDaniel, correct?
Correct.
For those of you that are listening, if you know him, tell Willie to turn himself in. It's so much easier when people just turn themselves in.
What squads do we have in the prayer then?
What are the warrants for there, Pat?
He's got a Department of Corrections warrant for a parole violation. Don't know what the original charge was on that. And he's got an active pickup and hold from, I believe it's from St. Paul PD, for second-degree assault with a firearm.
Thank you, please.
And Joe Miller, our analyst, if you're copying any of this, you know, it's a lot easier for us if you can just look that stuff up and pass it on to us. We are not as good with the computer on the move as you are.
6 home, get in the area. Where's your last name? His last seen the alley south of Thomas and Milton, right between the houses.
Thomas and Milton.
833, I'm in front of 747 Edmond. The last place I saw him was on Metro.
And the canine
Last seen in
unit.
front of 747 Edmond.
Canine unit is coming to the scene.
835, I talked to some people in the alley between Charles and Edmond to the south. I don't think he got south. I think he cut back north towards Thomas, so I think he's in that block somewhere. Copy. Cut back towards Thomas. 1947.
So hopefully they got a perimeter set up soon enough to keep him contained within that that block or so area.
He's a squad watching the south alley between Thomas and Edmond on Avon.
Nice thing about the Frogtown area is, and the Western District in general, is the blocks are very even, rectangular, and fairly easy to set up a perimeter on.
Sight lines are easy.
Exactly.
Well, the nice part about this chase is he's 250 plus.
Maybe even I could catch him.
Yeah, we might. I might have a match by this point, you know. Problem, of course, is if they know somebody or one person in the area that can give them cover. I don't know, this 35W construction might last forever.
Huh.
Still raining.
It's about 516 Chelsea. 516.
Well, we're gonna.
1726 Grand Avenue, Unit 4 for an in-progress domestic. Caller's girlfriend is intoxicated and physically attacking the caller.
We did hear last week that some of the
white female, 35 years old.
troublemakers were starting to hang out there, you know, just because they're running out of places to go.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks like she just took the caller's vehicle, the black GMC Envoy, last week she's on a Grand.
So we're southbound on 35W. We're going to get off on Cleveland. We'll take Cleveland down to Larpenteur. Then we'll essentially be
Clear advise, you can status that suspicious.
back to Falcon Heights, which borders St. Paul. And we'll get to the perimeter in time to kind of go through the alley. So once you set the perimeter up, then you got canines that'll track them. But it really does help to have people driving the alleys to kind of flush them out, you know, and see if you can get an eyeball on where they're hiding. And then once they start moving, then that's when you really have an opportunity to catch the suspect.
It's usually just a matter of time once you get them moving again.
The canines are good at, you know, finding them when they're hunkered down, but ultimately it's the perimeter and the cops that are around there that have to move quickly once the perimeter might get adjusted or moved.
For Highway 61 and 1st Street, cleared out advised. 164, we're already here.
I guess we'll stop for this one.
175 disregard.
It's nice having heavy duty everything on a police package. So cornering, my wife has a nice car, but when I drive that, but this suspension here, any police package suspension is so nice and tight when you're cornering or braking.
Yeah, this is a nice handling vehicle.
For squad info, our tickets entered in to call the DOC warrant as well as the St. Paul pickup, 1952.
So our analyst sent us a photograph
175.
of him as well
175.
as all the official warrant
Can you go
information.
to Vic and LaFont? That's the only open spot.
Victoria LaFont is an open spot. Usually when we get there first, we're stuck on a perimeter, but now that we're getting there late, we can actually prowl the interior. So obviously some of the things that are going to pick up here, just a reminder, if you want to send us a text with a question, 651-448-3810, 651-448-3810. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this video with your friends so other people can decide if they like it. I mean, the whole goal here is to give people a view of what law enforcement does, at the same time, you know, build some trust through transparency with the way that we do things in police work, which isn't always accurately depicted on the media.
Please changes to occurring damage.
So we're coming up on the memorial for Philando Castile. He was eastbound on Larpenteur right here.
262.
And
283, going to take primary on this.
just gonna pause here for a minute to honor him.
1675 Rice Street for an area check 1953.
So at some point here before the George Floyd Memorial is done, I think we'll take a trip over there as well. But this is the Philando Castile Memorial on Larpenteur Avenue, right at Larpenteur and Fry.
Very tragic incident.
Yeah, very tragic. And so, from so many different angles, just I'm pretty much, I can say that, you know, if it was an old-time officer like you or I, Pat, it wouldn't have evolved that way, correct?
Had that exact same conversation with many
Yeah.
officers.
Part of it's the youngness and the training of some young officers, and I do attribute a lot of things to how we're training our young officers, and you know, there's no substitute for experience. And when they're out there alone, especially, you know, in the Minneapolis case of the Justine Diamond, I mean, both those officers had less than a year on, you know, and there's
Squad 534.
just so much you learn from working with an older guy. I don't know if you worked with, I worked with a number of older officers.
523 Jackson Street,
You know.
Unit 308, Red Pepper.
Well, my first partner was Jerry Steffen. So
Yeah.
499 copy.
Well, you learn a lot from those old guys, and then when
Ready,
you're
copy that,
done
last
working
floor.
with your old mentors, it's great to have a partner to work with, because things happen different when you have a partner. Some checks and balances, some extra safety, and but part of it is, I mean, you know, this whole concept of how we train people. I mean, it really is three things: hire people, and this is what I want to work with John Thompson on, opening the pool of who we hire. Hire people that maybe don't want to be cops but would be interested in being cops, and then train them with the big picture perspective of who it is we're policing, not just on the arrest procedures. And then you have to have an adequate disciplinary structure to keep guiding officers, because they will make mistakes. I mean, the young ones. It's, I mean, pray to God it's never, you know, a deadly force /issue. But so hiring, training, and discipline. Well, I say discipline, I mean supervision / discipline. So we're headed back into St. Paul here anyhow.
Arizona Avon approaching the pond.
Is that Williams?
I didn't catch that.
I think he saw him. So we'll be going down Minnehaha in a minute. That's I hate it when we're just
366.
2 minutes late.
They're assisted. 31453.
I had great training officers when I came on too. During my field training program, I had Mike Gansel,
Oh yeah,
Ken McIntosh,
awesome,
and Bob Olson.
awesome. Yeah, Mike Gansel's son works here
Yes, he does.
still. Bob Olson was a classic. Was that in the old, would you go through B4 with him, or was any?
That was in, yeah, that was in B4.
Kenny McIntosh, everybody remembers him. He did a great job in the old B5 district. Well, we're gonna just put a little lights on and get there a little quicker. We're a mile away from where the perimeter is. We're eastbound on Minnehaha. I gotta say, just because I started here, I just when I'm on Minnehaha University, I just feel at home.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
This is where I worked the bulk of my career, was
Yeah.
Frogtown and
Just feel at
up
home.
to the Midway. Worked with Joe Flaherty for, oh gosh, 15 years as the Frogtown car. Squad 135.
Yeah, he was a classic too. Still is.
Absolutely. Squad 135, the Hallmark car.
Yeah.
When you care to send the very best.
Should be assistant. Put us out near Cook and Frank. Sorry, lost him.
You remember, of course, the Daryl
Wisconsin.
Olson.
Southwood Golf Juliet.
And I think he worked with Rick Klein a fair amount too. And I know we mentioned Rick Klein, but his passing here in
Yes.
the last couple weeks. Those are
He was in my
awesome.
academy class.
Yeah. Awesome cop.
Yeah, he was.
All right, well, I don't know if they took the perimeter to a different channel or if it's just nobody can find them, but we're gonna. I'm assuming Victoria is the western boundary, would you think? Since,
Looks like it.
but then somebody said Milton, so.
273.
This will be supplemental report. Going back on the nearest park detail, please.
So we got a lot of squads here setting up a perimeter, looking for Willie McDaniel. 5'11", 250 pounds.
Bravo 788.
We're just gonna find
Bravo
out.
78.
We're just gonna find out for sure the perimeter is, and then
We
we're
have
gonna,
a car close to 9th Robert.
we're gonna start going through the
I
alleys.
don't have a vehicle up here.
So we got Victoria and LaFond.
537 QA. We can head up there. What are we looking for?
Edmund and Victoria.
Might go to 4.
All right, my friend. Hey, where is the perimeter now? What's the perimeter here? Is it Victoria?
Yeah, if you go to Victoria and Blair, maybe.
What's the eastern? What's the eastern perimeter?
The eastern gets to Grotto.
Grotto?
Proceed to Grotto, you start running
Okay.
west, south, and then you turn back. Hey, back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you went back north.
She thinks that maybe you went north, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go beat. We're gonna beat the alleys.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Nice to
Thank
walk.
you. You too. They're always surprised and happy to see you, Pat. All right. Well, I hope he didn't get too far north. Stop here. I'm going to call one of the gang people and just figure out what their plan is here.
537, we're going to be out with one at 7th and Robert.
7th and Robert.
534, I'm out with 537. What do you?
For almost 788, I'll be out with this guy with the other cars here, 7th and Robert.
Yeah, no answer. So we're gonna work the alleys, but before we get there, I remember a young boy was killed, got run over here at Grotto and Thomas. Do you remember that, Pat? I think you were on the street there. But that was the final straw before they put the basket weaving in for, you know, you have to stop every 2 blocks. There were no stop signs here on Grotto and Chatsworth every 2 blocks. It's called basket weaving. But
It's made a big difference.
yeah, so the little boy got killed here crossing the street, and the car left. We never caught the driver. You want to talk to anybody here? You think she's here or not?
361.
Arlene or?
Oh, we can just keep cruising.
Echo Charlie Golf 253. Just for the future, Echo Charlie Golf 253. So we'll just hit the alleys.
Yeah.
It's like all the attention has caused people to leave. All right, we're looking for a 5'11", 250-pound black male named Willie McDaniel. And so far, no one's really beat these alleys because the dog's working door to door. But, so, stay alert, Facebook friends. Hey, you got that side?
Yeah. Trying to run the plate too.
833, is there an update on the track?
Looking for an update on the track.
Yep, we're working the alley behind 763 Edmund.
No, there's
So
south,
if you're working alley behind 753 Evan.
but then she thought maybe he got across Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So this is LaFond. I'm not sure, but it looks like this is the northern perimeter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Peeking in between those houses, I guess, just to see what's ducking down here. We'll go in this alley. Now we're north of Thomas. They're searching the alley on the south side of Thomas, but the gang officer wasn't sure if he was able to get across Thomas. He ran south at first and then cut back to the north. Probably actually tried to cut back to, oh, there's a big guy right there.
Did he duck back?
What was he wearing?
He's still there.
Where are we at? 722. Would you recognize him?
Yeah, that's not him.
How's it going?
Baking a cake.
Making a cake? Who's the birthday or what?
Baking a cake,
What?
baby, and coming from the liquor store.
Yeah, we're looking for a guy that's been running through your alley. You see
A
him?
black guy with a hoodie, let me guess. How did I know? Don't shoot him.
He was a lot heavier than you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been running with
He eats a lot more cake than you do, I think.
him.
Yeah.